The veil was torn. This is the Yom Kippur that Daniel the prophet spoke about. Messiah will bring in, will make atonement Kippur for iniquities and bring in everlasting righteousness. Most likely it was torn right down the middle. But what was there? It wasn't just the tearing of the veil. On the veil were the cherubim. What does it mean? It means when the veil was torn, it wasn't just a tearing. The cherubim were parted away. They were cleared out of the way. That the way was made clear, was open. It represents because Messiah was passing through. As he died on the cross, Messiah was passing through at the moment of the sacrifice. On that same day, on the day when man fell, and God, it says, placed cherubim at the entrance at the east of Eden, a prophecy was given on that day of the fall of man that the serpent would strike the feet of the man, but the man's feet would crush the head of the serpent. On that day, the serpent, the enemy, evil, struck Messiah. His feet were wounded. But by that, on the cross, his feet crushes the power of the enemy, of the devil, of evil, of sin. On the same day that he passes through the cherubim, which were established when that prophecy was given, to make atonement for sin, that we could return to God and to paradise. The word that God said, what he said, it was to, well, actually, it says he put the cherubim there. The word in Hebrew is shakan, which means he stationed them. From the same word shakan, you get the word Mishkan. Mishkan is the name of the tabernacle, which becomes the temple, which is where the cherubim are stationed, Shakan, and that's where the cherubim end up, in the place that is from the same word. It says they were stationed to guard the way to the tree of life, but the word for guard there is shomer or shomer, which you get the word watchman from, shomer. It doesn't just mean guard, it also means preserve or keep. The cherubim were actually keeping the way. And that's why they were in the temple. That's why they were there. It was God saying the way is still there. Even though right now it's closed, I'm going to open up the way. But I'm keeping this way. I'm reminding you of the way because I'm going to open the way one day when the veil is removed. So the New Testament records this cataclysmic, cosmic moment change when the veil representing heaven and earth, it is opened up, man and God opened up, the symbol of the curse is removed, the cherubim, something so cosmic. Is there any other witness? A man was a Jewish general in the first century, part of the rebellion, the revolt against Rome. He surrendered to the Romans, became a historian for the Romans. Most famous Jewish historian of ancient times, you've heard of him, Josephus. Josephus was not acquainted with the New Testament. He was a secular, in a sense, writer for the Romans, had no idea of any of these things, nor of the connection here. Yet he recorded something very strange in the book, The War of the Jews, chapter 5, section 3. He writes, the eastern gate in the inner court. This is the gate that stood in the line of the Holy. This is the Nicanor gate, massive bronze gate. It stands for the last separation, or if you're coming into God, it's the first separation. It was the veil of the courtyard. Now it's this massive bronze gate. Josephus said it took 20 men to move it. Heavy, massive heavy. And it was armed with bolts in the ground. Could not be moved by any person. But Josephus records all of a sudden this massive gate opened by itself. The gate that was shut, that 20 men to shut it, opened by itself. It represents the barrier, the veil of the cherubim. The way, he doesn't know it, but it's the way to God is opened. It said everybody panicked. They ran. The guards ran. They panicked. They couldn't understand what was happening. The Nicanor gate. So we got the veil of the Holy of Holies, that barrier, the last barrier or the first barrier, that's opened up, New Testament. Then you got the other barrier on the other side. You got the brass gate. That's the other cherubim place, and that's Josephus. That leaves one in the middle, the veil or the doors of the temple. That's the other place of the cherubim. Any witness to that? Well, some of you know. I mentioned it. I alluded to it on Friday. And that is, the witness to this is not Josephus or the New Testament. It's the rabbis. And they record in the book, in the Talmud, the book of Moed, tractate Yoma, like Yom Kippur, section 39, it says, our rabbis taught that something happened. Our rabbis taught that the golden doors of the temple, massive golden doors, all of a sudden they opened up by themselves. It so alarmed the rabbis that one of the rabbis, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, who's a famous rabbi, he was so upset that he went to the doors and started rebuking them. Said, stop doing it, basically. Why are you doing this? But the rabbi said he kept doing it. They closed it, it opened. They closed the way, it opened. Amazing. New Testament says the veil, then the doors and the gate, and they all opened. When, the rabbi said, when did this begin? It says in the Talmud, it says it began about 40 years before the temple was destroyed. Temple destroyed 70 AD, subtract 40 years, brings you to about the year 30 AD, the very time of Messiah dying on the cross and passing through to paradise, opening up the way of the cherubim. The rabbis are affirming, testifying of the cosmic change happening about 30 AD concerning sin and man and God and Yom Kippur. All that took place in that time, and they have no idea what happened on the cross. And yet they say it. It's there in every Talmud. There is nothing remotely like this in the history of any faith or in the history of the world. Who could put this together? From Eden to Revelation, from the New Testament to the writings of the rabbis, only the Almighty.
To find out how you can receive more of Jonathan's teachings, to receive special free gifts, or get in touch, go to hopeoftheworld.org or call toll-free 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821. You can also get more at Jonathan Cahn's Facebook page or write us direct at Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Hope of the World is dedicated to the goal of spreading God's Word and salvation to every land and people. We do this by spreading the Word throughout the world and sponsoring compassion projects to the most poor and needy around the earth. To get in touch or have a part in God's work, just write to Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Or go to hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821.